Hey guys, I hope you are well. Welcome to another video by me, Nikki, from your Master K. Today, guys, I'm bringing you the Pisces new moon, which is happening the 30th or the 31st of August, wherever you are. So this Pisces new moon is at 7 degrees. It will affect anyone, any mutables, Gemini, Pisces, Sagittarius, and I want to say Capricorn, sorry, Sagittarius and Virgo, who are at 2 to 12 degrees. So that's like the second decan of the mutable sign. It will definitely affect you. This Pisces new moon, it does conjunct Saturn, which makes it pretty powerful. The fact that Saturn's in Pisces is making us very emotional, but also making us control our emotions in a way. It can also bring a downer on things. The fact that, every time we visit this new moon or full moon in Pisces, we do experience stuff very, very emotional. But this is about letting go. And the fact that Saturn is involved, because the last time we visited Saturn in Pisces was, 30 years ago, 93 to 1996. Obviously, the world has changed then, but now we're in a different realm. Another thing I was going to say was that the last time we saw Saturn in Pisces 30 years ago, we were in the middle of a conjunction that was in air as well, which was Libra. And now we're in another one, which is obviously it happened in 2020, but still, we're still in it. We're in Aquarius. So it'll be very interesting to see when Saturn goes in Pisces 30 years again, where the conjunction will actually probably be in an air sign anyway, because we are in air era. But yes. So I feel that with this, it's going to be taking us on an emotional state, but also the fact Saturn's involved, and also it's in a water sign, we are going to see themes that come up to do with addiction, sensitivity, martyrdom, creativity, dreams, the artist as well, artistic pursuits, heavy emotions. It can also be, because Saturn does rule, it can be like mood swings, it can be depression, it can be working too hard. It can also make us feel that we don't want to feel. We could be burying our emotions and not wanting to feel, which actually can be quite catastrophic, because when you bury or hide emotions, you tend to, let's just be honest, it comes up in the end. So I feel that we do have to be very mindful of our emotional state, being very much aware of who we're surrounding ourselves with, really like protecting our aura in a way as well, because especially if you've got a lot of water in your personal chart, it could really affect you. Obviously, this is going to be also affecting the water signs who are 2 to 12 degrees, Scorpio and Cancer. You guys will definitely feel this. So I feel it in a good way. It's great that if you are taking like your work life very seriously, you can sort of like more like get some certain, get work out there. You've like completed a project, and now you're ready to, show it to the world. On an emotional state, like when it comes to our personal relationships, we may feel that we're alone. We may feel that we're not really understood. We also may feel that we can't really emote how we're feeling. On another level, it can also bring up themes of us controlling our emotions in a way where we shouldn't be bringing it out there. And I mean that, sometimes when you're in a certain environment and you want to explode and say something, and it's just like you keep hearing that voice, now's not the time. The conjunction to Saturn can actually help with that. But obviously we don't go too far and think that, we should always be like that. So I feel that emotion-wise, it can be a bit of a mixed bag. Saturn does rule the elite, you know, it's ruled by Capricorn. So it's like elite. So we can probably hear more stories about them. It doesn't have to be like on the TV. It could be like people you work with who are higher ups than you. And there could be some deep discussions. There could be some drama. It could be a multitude of things. It really does depend where Saturn, but also where Pisces is in your personal chart, in your house chart. So again, like I said, all the mutable signs will be affected. All the water signs, it will trine. The earth signs also, let's not forget, it will sextile, it will benefit. The air signs, it's more to do with like your work life, but anyway, I'll talk about that later. It's not going to affect the air signs too much, except for Gemini, and also the fire signs, except for Sagittarius. It's not going to be, you know, too heavy on you. But we're all going to feel this on a level. So yes. So other things I would say for this, which would be good, especially like on a health level, or you know, just on a basic self-care level. Because you know the tarot card for this is the Chariot. And, you know, we're in a chariot year. So that is of self-determination. It's like self-mastery and self-determination. And I feel that with this energy of Saturn in Pisces, but also with this full moon, is also going to be sort of like pushing us forward in order to like release certain things that we no longer need. And it could be addiction. It could be, you know, how we're feeling, our bad thoughts. It could be us, how we're unwilling to let go of certain, it could be bad habits, but also people that we're surrounding ourselves with. It could be like a job that's hindering our health or our mental and emotional health. It could be friends. It could be, you know, even a relationship. This could make us actually, it's like we're going to be having this mirror open to ourselves, like, okay, this is what we need to face and it's what we need to let go. And if you're not willing to let go, then, you know, it's not like repercussions, but just like, you know, things will just get worse. Remember, Saturn's very karmatic. So this is very much a karmatic new moon, full moon, okay? And, you know, I think one good thing about this is showing us that if we are willing and even trying to release something, whether it's toxic or something that's hindering us, we may definitely see some rewards coming. So when it comes to there's something else I wanted to say, but it's probably just left me. But yeah, so again, one thing I was going to say before I talk about the wellness bit is that, you know, it's going to be very emotional for some, but not for all, and just really pace ourselves. Some good things that are great for doing on a full moon. Some people say you should do it before the full moon, or on, you know, a couple of days, a day after. That, you know, sound baths are good. Epsom salt baths are good for cleansing, because Pisces, like all the water signs, like Cancer, holds water retention. Dry brushing is very good. It helps, like, because Pisces rules like the lymphatic system. So it's actually great to be doing some type of dry brushing to help keep things moving, especially if you've got like stagnated energy, which can happen with Saturn being there. Like I said, Epsom salt baths, taking time just to chill out, because our energy might not be very high, guys. We just have to really work with it. You know, even writing down, you know, because a lot of us may be dreaming a lot. So even like, I don't know, sketching, writing, watching telly, chilling, I would say. Essential oils I would use, because I use essential oils, you know, guys, on a regular basis. I love using cedarwood, which is great for grounding, because we're going to be needed to be grounded. But yes, it's really good to ground, you know, bring us back down to earth. Sweet orange essential oil is good for, you know, for uplifting, or you can use like wild orange, really great for uplifting our emotions. because we can feel very heavy under this full moon. Sandalwood is good. It's quite good for like for artists. It's good for helping boost your creativity as well. Yeah, those are the essential oils. And also another one is juniper berry, which is great. It's very much a protective oil. Okay, so those are the essential oils that you could use. Remember, these are guides. So before you start using something new, really speak to your doctor or practitioner. So yeah, that's my 2 cents worth on the full moon in Pisces. And now let's get to the signs. Hello Aries, how are you? So Aries, this full moon in Pisces is in your 12th house. And also especially with Saturn conjuncting it as well. So it can actually feel quite heavy for a lot of you Aries. It can actually feel very, very heavy. You can feel like, there could be like an element of stagnation. Whether it comes to your, spiritual practice, whether it comes to you not relaxing. It can also be you when it comes to like your career. I know the nodes are in you're in Libra sign, so it might be giving you that sort of drive still. But you're still, I feel that there's some element of you guys just like pushing forward, but you may not be feeling like you're making a lot of headway. You could also feel like your energy is a bit down at this time. Not throughout the whole of, remember you got the North Node supporting you, which actually really helps. But still, during this time, especially for the month, you could feel like you just feel like you're just slumping a bit. There could also be some issues to do with your career because Saturn rules your 10th. So there could be some issues that happens there. You could be, there could be a lot of work that could be put on you Aries, and you might just want to just chill and daydream. You might not want to, be around too much people as well. There could be that your boss could be talking to you and you could be just like, you're listening, but you're not listening because you just want to just be by yourself. But, I feel like I said in the beginning, I think the beginning will actually benefit you, Aries. Just work with your energy. Don't push yourself too much because you don't want to burn yourself out, especially when the full moon goes into your sign. Take your time, breathe. If things get too much at work, which I doubt that they won't, just take time to chill, go out for walks, breathe again. I feel that meditation and that will really try and benefit you. Any type of meditation, it could be like a walking or even like a running type of meditation. But again, really work with your energy because things can just get a bit too much for you, whether it's like your personal or even like your job. The card that you have is the High Priestess, and High Priestess is very much a secretive card, and there could be some things that are subconscious that's going on within you, Aries, that you may not know how to expose or express. So this could be one of the reasons why you're feeling that you're not yourself. So I do feel that if you want to like express yourself in any type of way, but it's really hard, it could be speaking to someone. It could just be like just taking that time out, listening to your intuition, listening to your emotions because it's there. And or if you feel that you need to speak to, like, I don't know, it could be like join like a secret group or, therapy, even writing it down. It could even be your own boss. It could be your boss because they may see you're not being like your 100%. So it might be time to just sit down and just talk about things. It could be that. Or you might just want to keep it secret and just talk to, just write stuff down. But yeah, there's something brewing. So it's about you finding a way to express yourself. It's not going to be easy, but you can do it. Hello, Taurus. How are you? So Taurus, this new moon is in your 11th house. It's actually nice one for all the earth signs, except for obviously Virgo and all the other water signs. This is in your 11th house, which is about, your groups, organizations, humanitarianism work, and your goals. So I feel a lot of you Tauruses might feel very, of course, I feel there's ambitiousness happening, but also you're willing to, there's certain things you're willing to let go of because Saturn rules your 9th. and that's about your belief system. So there might be some old belief systems that you've worked with that actually help with your goals, your goal setting, but it's now not working. And this full moon will show you where you're holding on to something that's very outdated. And it also could be friends. And also it's showing you where new things can come in if you're willing to let that happen. There's very much a stubbornness happening with you, a lot of you Tauruses. I feel that because you're used to, I feel that some of you are used to being around certain people, or just doing things a certain way. You're just used to that, and now you're going to feel like things are crumbling. It's actually not. Things are actually changing, and changes will happen if you're willing to let them come. Okay, so the card you got is the Magician, which is the number one, which is very much about manifestations and the mind. You've got everything at your disposal, but only if you're allowed to happen. I feel that there's going to be new people coming into your life, Taurus. Okay, and sometimes when new people come in, the old people start to disappear. And there's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with mourning the loss of friendships, or mourning the loss of like an old goal, especially something you've worked on for a long time. Could be 30 years. There's some stuff you've worked on. There's some people in your life that have been around for a long time, but now this is gonna start to disappear. Not in a bad way. That's just the way the world is. So the Magician is here to show you that new beginnings are actually happening. If you are wishing for things to really work out, this is a great time to be manifesting that. Don't wish for don't think bad things gonna happen, because they won't. Just try and you maybe, I feel that you're gonna be very surprised by all these things you're going to be benefiting from, Tauruses. And you never know, these people who come into your life, they could be very beneficial for your future as well. So just see how things pan out, okay? Hello, Gemini. How are you? So, Gemini, this is going to affect you. So this is in your 10th house, okay? And you Saturn rules your 8th house. So this is to do with like your career and your social status, your standing, father figures, your job, could be your security as well. So this squares you. So some of you Geminis might actually be some changes within your job, powerful changes. Some of you could be like the boss. These things can happen. Some of you could be leaving a job. Some of you could be initiating something brand new for your career. Could be changing your career altogether. But with this comes with powerful emotions. I feel if any changes that happen within your career or your status, it could be even your relationship, it's going to bring up like certain powerful emotions, as in like loss. It could be lots of fear as well. I think, and also any of this that happens, Gemini, is going to be changing like your money situation big time. So I feel that's something to look forward to. I feel that if you are willing to go out on your own and do something different, know that there'll be a lot of there'll be a lot of things put on you, especially in terms of like your finances, joint finances, any like debts or loans. Or some of you may be staying in a job because you need to pay off debts and loans, or some of you may see, because this Saturn moon, should I say, is showing where you are holding on and you need to release. If you're staying somewhere that's very outdated, and for some of you Geminis will feel no way to jump ship, or some of you may be a bit resistant because it's a money situation, or it will help with like you and your partner's finances, or help with any like debts and that. So the card that you have is the 5 of Wands, and this card is very much about battles. It could be you battling with your partner. It could be you battling with a superior. It could be you battling within yourself. I feel if any drama that comes up with a job, that's because of, I feel that if you're battling with anyone at work, it could be a CEO, or people are battling with you. A lot of it's to do with insecurity. Listening comes up as well. So I feel you just have to really listen to what's going on instead of jumping to conclusions. The five is, the five is very much about change. So there's going to be some changes that goes on. And some of this might be very furious. Some of these things that change in your life, Gemini, but it concern your career. It could also be a thing of like having to, you're mutable, so you go with the flow, but it's like having to like change so that life is a bit easier for you. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But, I feel that some of these changes will be for the better. Some of it may be a bit catastrophic in the beginning, but after a while, it starts to get better. Okay, so big things are coming for you, Gemini. Hello, Cancer. How are you? So, Cancer, this Pisces full moon is in your 9th house. Big house. A house of, I was going to say dream. Yeah, it definitely could be dreams. But your ways of thinking, long distance and I've got art coming up. Some of you could be doing art, but also it's to do with higher learning, publishing, anything to do with like the law. So that could be a theme that definitely comes up for a lot of you. Other themes, because it conjunct Saturn, is some of you could be doing that. I feel that some of you could be actually working in those fields and taking things a bit more seriously. But also, again, it's showing you where you're taking things a bit too seriously and things are very much, again, I'm going to say it's all the signs. A lot of things are just not working, just outdated. The fact that Saturn rules your 7th is showing you where, some of you may decide you want to be boss and your partner might feel left out, or your partner might be there could be like a possessiveness that comes along and it's like hindering you in some way, and you're just changing your mind about things, Cancers. I feel a lot of you Cancers are willing to just fly on your own, go it alone. I feel I feel that this new moon is bringing up the side that some of you are feeling quite fed up. You're fed up of how the world is. You're fed up of how life is. It's just not, things just don't seem fair. And I feel that a lot of you may want to do something about it. Even like your relationships as well. You might be thinking, no, I'm not really happy. I want something to change. But I just don't know how. This full moon will show you. If you're one of those Cancers that are very, very creative and you write and you put that pen down, you may pick it up now. I feel that a lot of you may even get that support that you need to publish. It's actually great to self-publish. Some astrologers do say that it's good to do the traditional way of publishing, but as we all know, we live in a world where, things are going to be about being self-employed. So self-publishing is the way forward, but I feel that a lot of you Cancers will get that sort of support. I feel it's good to be putting stuff out now. Anything creative, or even something to do with like helping others. And this could also help your relationship. Your partner could see it and think, oh, this actually speaks to me too. So the card that you got is the 6 of Wands. So it's about support. You're getting a lot of support, Cancers. A lot of support. And it could be from people that you never even envisioned. It could be from a different creed, a different culture, somewhere like from far away. Remember, everyone is going to be working with people that are from different cultures online. So I feel online will be your friend. If you're looking to, I don't know, if you're looking to like study, you could be studying with your partner, you could be building a business, anything like that, Cancer. The world is like your oyster, but also I feel that you're going to be taking things a lot more seriously. And like I said again, a lot of you are not afraid to go it alone. So yeah, it's a big one for you, Cancers. Hello, Leo. How are you? So, this Pisces full moon is in your 8th house, with Saturn being there. And, Saturn rules your 6th house. So I feel for some of you Leos, it's not impossible that money cannot come. But you may find, because Saturn's involved, you may find that you may have to get very organized with your money situation. And it's across the board, debts, loans, people paying you back. You may be gung-ho in like, I need this money back. I need, you need these things that you need But you have to be very strong about it. You have to be very organized about it as well. These two energies can play a lot on you physically. So really taking time to like rest and relax. Mental, physical health, really take your time. Because it can feel, this full moon can feel very intense for you emotionally. But again, it's actually really great if you're going to be getting yourself, getting down to the nitty gritty of things, or trying to get as organized as you can. Especially if you're paying off any loans, especially if there's any bills that come, but if like the bills are more to do with your joint finances. Of course, the 8th house is to do with fears. It's to do with repressed emotions, deep emotions that come up, to do with money. So yes, that can definitely come up too. So really pace yourself, Leos, because it may not be the easiest of energies for you. The card you have is a 2 of Swords. Whenever we have 2, it is about being in 2 minds. The swords are about mind, the mind, mental. So you could be having like sort of like mental gymnastics that come up. You again, like a lot of fire signs, you may want to just take your time, but also you may want to be alone because certain things to do with like finances could cause a bit of a headache. Especially if you're dealing with like lawyers, or if there's any. But another thing I was going to think as well, Pisces, is that, Leos, is that if you are dealing with lawyers at this time, it could be because you're like owed like money through you've like an inheritance. So there might be a lot of back and forth with lawyers, or it could be family lawyers, any type of lawyers. It could be a lot of back and forth. So instead of, especially if you're getting the money, it may be a lot of like to and fro, lots of signing of papers, which can make a lot of you think you're not getting it, and you probably will. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. But again, the 2 of Swords is showing you, there could be 2 things coming up as well. So really take your time, really pace yourself, okay? Hello, Virgos, how are you? So Virgo, this will affect you big time, because especially if you're 2 to 12 degrees, 2nd decan Virgos, this is in your 7th house. Now, I know that a lot of the early Virgos are going through it, with Saturn being in your sign, like when it comes to like your relationships. This is showing me, for some of you Virgos, that, of course, this is about relationships, personal, business, and, coming together in your relationships. There could be some illusion, delusion. With Saturn being there, it's making you actually see where you are being deluding yourself. And it also of course it can be personal relationships too, and yes, and business. You may be thinking or feeling that, oh, I am, this is like the best thing that ever happened to me, or this contract is the best thing. But then with this full moon, something comes out into the open about your relationship, about your partner, about your business partner, even people that you work with. And it could be a bit of a shock. So really listen to these hunches that come up, Virgos. Don't dismiss it. Yes, a lot of you can be in your head, because Saturn being in Saturn ruling your 5th, it's also bringing up themes of, are you having fun? And Saturn being in your 5th, ruling your 5th, is not easy, because the fun can be very, what's the word? It can be very stilted. Like the fun can be too serious. You could be over the top with fun in terms of, you're just taking things just too serious. And yeah, it's not an easy energy for Virgos. But still, with Saturn ruling your 5th, it can bring up are you taking certain things for granted? Are you not having as much fun? Are you being creative? Are you spending more time with your kids? Are you putting too much emphasis on your relationship and not enough time in fun and creativity, and even children if you have them? Yeah, so it can be very much a lot for a lot of you. So the card you got is a world card, and things will definitely come full circle now for a lot of you. This is actually a Saturn card. So this is a very karmatic full moon. So it's a karmatic climax that's gonna come, a karmatic end, a karmatic conclusion that's gonna come. You're not gonna look at this. You're gonna look at this full moon. You're not gonna forget this full moon in a hurry, Virgos, because there's gonna be so much stuff that comes out that you didn't see or refuse to see. And I feel that some of you may be willing to change as well in order for you to be less anxious and less calm and more calm. So yes, the world card is showing you that there are new beginnings coming in, but before that happens, there's some stuff that's going to be brought up for a climax for you. Okay. Hello, Libra. So this Pisces new moon is in your 6th house, especially with Saturn being there. How's it been, Libra, with Pisces being your 6th house so far? Because it is to do with your wellness, health, vitality, your work life, and your employment. And this new moon, because once again, I always talk about the Saturn's influence, the karmatic influence. Things may start to become a bit more real now. There's going to be a bit of a releasing going on. Any bad habits you have, anything toxic that you feel, anything, especially in your workplace. Some of you may decide you don't no longer need a pet. You no longer need to work in your job that you're in, or even like your wellness routines. It's going to all become real. Saturn rules your 4th, so things are really coming home. It could be a case of things are coming home to roost in a way. But yeah, I feel some of you Librans are going to be just really take care of yourself now. Really take care of your health. Really take care of what work needs to be done. Some of you could also decide that you want to start to do some job search as well. You may want to work somewhere different, not so fast-paced, somewhere more, could be a spiritual place, it could be medicine, could be something holistic. Some of you definitely may need healing as well. The card that you have is the Star card. And the Star card, lovely card. It's about new beginnings, but it's like things are going to be shining on you. And this card is definitely about good luck as well. So I feel if you do need to, like, I don't know, some of you may, because, you know, September's coming up. It's the Virgo season of detox and getting down to the nitty gritty. This is a great time to be starting something fresh, starting something new, really prepping your body, prepping your mind, getting a new job, starting a new course. Some of it could be really much closer to home. I'm also picking up some themes as well. Like, I think there's some certain things you used to do in the past that you may start to do again that actually work for you. So really look into that. Because the 4th house is very much a sentimental house as well. So yes, there's definitely themes from the past, but I feel that anything like that is going to be really helpful towards like your goals that are coming up now with this Pisces full moon. Hello, my Scorpio. How are you? So, Scorpio, this full moon, in Pisces is in your 5th house, with Saturn being there. Saturn rules your 3rd. So, Scorpio, even though Saturn in your 5th house can actually make you feel a little bit stuck creatively, it can still bring things, like make things a bit more realistic in a way. So again, I feel some of you Scorpions, if you haven't even started to be like get on your creativity, you may some of you may decide you want to do it now, or bring, like, if you've been working on a project, you may decide to bring the project out now for the world to see. And, you know, you're the sign that's very much about investigation. So you may have been just mulling over stuff, and now it's like, okay, I've been thinking about doing this, and now it's time to do it, which is always good, especially with Saturn ruling your third. It's going to be giving you that mental strength to continue. But also, again, anything that you're going to be creating is very karmatic, in a sense that it was, you know, more or less meant to be. You know, it's been like a long time coming. Themes of children can definitely come up too. Okay, so some of you could be revealing something, you know. You could be revealing, you could be wishing on a star. But also, I do feel some of you Scorpions are going to be feeling quite creative, but you may not know which way to go. You could definitely be in two minds. The card you have is a Hermit card, which is very much a card that I feel that a lot of you need to, like, listen to what's going on within the mind, body and soul, have that sort of connection coming up. There's a lot of inspiration everywhere for you, Scorpio. It's not about being stuck on the one thing that you feel works. It's about trying to sort of think outside the box. If you have children, they could help. You know, they could just say one thing to you that sparks off a whole new, brand new idea. You know, Saturn ruling your third is very much about the third house is very much about the business house. So anything you're going to be doing, basically, it can bring in, like, new business. Think of it like that. So yeah, very much a great time for a lot of you Scorpions, okay? Hello Sagittarius, how are you? So Sagittarius, you're going to feel this. If you are 2 to 12 degrees, like all the mutable signs, if you're second decan, so if you're December, early December, you're going to be feeling this. So this is in your 4th house, which can, I wonder how a lot of you Sagittarians are coping, because it's not easy. It's not easy, I know. Some of you Sagittarians have felt like there's like an emotional things that are going on. And the 4th house is definitely connected to home. So some of you, if you are in business to do like the home business or anything, you could be, you know, selling off, buying something to do with like real estate. You could be, this full moon can bring out certain secrets to do with like your family, especially connecting to your mum. And yeah, I feel that with some of you Sagittarians, things should just be a bit more closer to home now. But past themes, past emotional themes, this could feel extra special for some of you, because this is like concerned with family. You know, Saturn rules your 2nd, so obviously themes to do with like money. I feel that some of you may be could be investing in a childhood home or selling off a childhood home, because you are releasing themes from the past. And it's not easy for everyone, especially for you Sagittarius. You know, on the outside you could be thinking, oh, everything's fine, but on the inside there are things that need to be spoken about or need to be released. So again, like, if any of the 5 signs are going through this emotional stuff, really pace yourself. Listen to your emotions. Some of you may even feel really tired as well, really tired, especially if there are themes concerned to do with money and self-worth. But definitely like childhood themes are coming up. The card you got is a 10 of Swords, which is not an easy card. It is a card that is like being stabbed in the back, or, you know, you feel like you can't move, like mentally you can't move. This card is telling me for a lot of you Sagittarians that you really get out of if something is hindering you in any way, and it could be family, it could be people that you consider family, anything toxic, it's time to really try and move away from it. It's not going to be easy, but instead of just running away or just like traveling and just forgetting about it, you really have to deal with it in order to move on. I feel that there's going to be certain themes and people going to be dragging you back, but you just need to keep moving. But in order to keep moving, we need to deal with the past. We need to deal with pain, and that some of that could be coming up. So again, like I said, really pace yourself, because it could, for the next nearly 3 years, it's going to be coming up. So yes, so yeah, really try and pace yourself, Sagittarians, and yeah, just remove yourself from things that not that no longer serving you, but things that are just hindering you mentally and emotionally. Hello Capricorn, how are you? So we have a new moon, a full moon, sorry, in Pisces, which is in your 3rd house. And with Saturn, you're the ruler of Saturn. So I'm picking up some of you bringing out some writing. I'm really picking up some of you bringing out writing, because the 3rd house is about communication. And even though Saturn being there can sort of hinder it, it can make you feel a little bit sluggish, and I feel some of you are going to be bringing out some writing. It's like a long time coming, or some of you are thinking about doing it. Lots of thinking going on. Could be definitely like in a haze, in a daydream, going back and forth, to and fro, should I do this, should I not do this, I don't know what to do. I feel some of you are very definitely thinking business minded, like, I know that I'm good, I know I'm creative, I know I'm this and that, but I just don't know how. So, and Saturn being in the 3rd is not easy, because it's very watery when we're talking about Piscean energy. So I feel for a lot of you, again, of course, go for it, but yeah, it's not going to be easy for a lot of you. But for some of you, it's because the Saturn influence is like making you very determined. So if you feel that you can't, if you feel in a way that, oh, I'm not really sure that I'm not sure how to go about this, there's always another way. It could be blogging, it could be journaling, it could be, I don't know, working for like an independent radio station, which I can't wait to more of them to be happening for globally, for a lot of people that are not considered, a certain class or race or anything. But even you might decide you want to start that too. So there's lots of ideas swirling happening. 3rd house is also to do short distance travel, so that could be a theme. Your siblings as well, friends, that could also be a theme that also comes up too. But yeah, I feel that because Saturn's there, is like you're taking things a lot more seriously now. Like there's a lot of big determination. The card you got is the Fool card, and the Fool is actually about new beginnings happening. We don't know where we're going, where we're coming or going, but it's going to be happening. So yeah, it's like sort of like try and go with it, Capricorns. Some of you may be scared, some of you may be like doubtful, but go with it, because you just never know. You really just never know. Or even if you've got something to say to someone, whether it's your siblings or your friends, if you even want to travel somewhere that you've never traveled, go for it, because you just never know what can inspire you, what you can learn from, what you can write about. The world definitely does feel like your oyster. So yeah, the Fool is actually a great card for you, Capricorns, because it's just like, not really sure, could be a bit reckless, but let's still do it. So yeah, it's a great one for you, Capricorns. Aquarius, how are you? So this Pisces full moon is in your 2nd house. And, traditionally you're ruled by Saturn. And Saturn also rules your 12th house. So the 2nd house, as you know, is about money, self-worth, even savings, stocks, bonds, agriculture. Some of you Aquarians may be sort of like really looking at your money situation, because the 2nd house is to do with your self-worth as well. and your self-esteem. So I feel a lot of you during this full moon was probably just, probably just ease off of the spending if you are overspending. But some of you may be looking at things a bit more in a frugal way, looking at your finances, looking at how to do things properly, looking at, it could be you, some of you changing a new bank or anything to do with the banking system. But a lot of this is obviously to do with you looking at viewing your finances in a way, if it's especially if you're earning potential, earning situation, if it's you're doing, basically, if you're doing a lot of work and you find that, you're putting more work in, but you're not getting, the money's not showing, show me the money type of thing. So I think there may be some of you, talking to bosses about promotions, or talking about your money situation, basically. But, this second house is very much, it's a Taurus house. And yeah, money's on the mind, mind's on the money. Once again, I feel that a lot of you may be taking a lot more of this seriously, more than ever. Or it's like Saturn's putting that thing on you, okay, this is what you overspent, this is what you need to save. And if you are giving too much out and not having enough in, the card that you have is the Queen of Pentacles, which actually is a money card. Some of you could be the Queen of Pentacles or embodying it. So it's like getting down to business, basically. You're getting down to business. I do feel, because I think because Saturn's involved, a lot more of you are taking a lot of this, like I said, a lot seriously. You're not, this feels like it's not a time to be very frivolous, like throwing things away. It's really get down to the, again, nitty gritty, one of my favorite words, of your expenditure. And also some of you may be feeling that, if you have less, that means you're not worth anything. And that's really not the case. So there's really and truly a lot to think about now, Aquarius. Hello, Pisces. Last but not least, but you guys are very patient. You are the star of the show. So if you're 2nd to 12 degrees, so if you're Cancer Deacon of Pisces, so it's the 2nd of March to the 11th of March, you're going to be really feeling this. This is in your first house. And yeah, Saturn's in being your sign. It's going to be in your sign until 2026. So you're going to be revisiting this for a very long time. The fact that this full moon in conjunct Saturn is going to be some of you taking, again, this is about the physical, your job, your relationships, and also because Saturn rules your 12th house. Sorry, Saturn rules your 11th house, but also obviously traditionally with Aquarius it's 12th. But this is going to be you looking at releasing. Some of you could be bringing out certain passion projects. On one hand, it can make a lot of you get down. Could be get down and dirty, but it could be you getting down and working on certain projects that have just drifted by. Some of you could be in this sort of haze, daydream haze. And it's this full moon is okay, just do it. You've got all of these, some of you got all of these ideas. Why don't you just do it? Get down to it. There could be some confusion because you may have ideas, but you don't know how to execute it. On the other hand, some of you are looking to release certain people from your life. It could be friends. It could be old projects. It could be neighbors come up for some reason. But it could be, friends, old passion projects that you no longer need. It could be groups and organizations. It could also be something from your body as well, i.e. you could be thinking, okay, I need to really focus on getting myself the healthiest I can be. So cut down the drinking, smoking, all of the dark side of Pisces. And it could be you doing it just for yourself. Some of you may need help with it. Some of you maybe just do it yourself. So the card that you have, Pisces, the Knight of Pentacles. The Knights are about messages coming. This is money. So I'm feeling that some of you are getting like certain downloads. Like, you know what? If you do this, you know, especially if you're looking for like to gain or like start like a business, I feel that any of you who are like especially very creative, this full moon can see a lot of you either contacting someone contacting you, or you know, they see what you've got on social media. If you guys are artists, drawings, you do writing, any of that, some people may want to collaborate with you or they want to work with you. But also on the other hand, because this is to do with money, it's like you're going to bring richness to yourself if you start taking care of yourself a bit more, and also aligning yourself with certain people that can help you and not people that are just bringing you down. So there's really a lot going on for a lot of you Pisceans during this full moon. Another thing, some of you may not the energy may not be there as well. So work with your energy. Doing some spiritual practice will really help. So guys, that was the Pisces full moon for all the signs. Feel free to write comments, like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, again, comments are always welcome, good or bad. And thank you guys very much for listening, and I'll speak to you all soon. So take care. Bye.